And joining us now on the Black and Gold Banneret, previewing the women's tennis team for the 2024 season, team head coach and new director of tennis, Bryan Koniecko. Do we call you Coach Koniecko or Director Koniecko now?
You can call me whatever you like, Bryson, but it's nice. I'm definitely honored to be in this role, and just thankful to Terry and Abby to have the trust in me to continue running the ship.
How much has your life changed over the past a couple of months? What's the difference between being to being like, working with director of tennis John Roddick to now taking over that position yourself?
Yeah, it's definitely been different. Obviously one hiring a new staff. Obviously, promoting Lloyd from being my assistant to being the new head men's tennis coach has been something well deserved for him. He's one of the hardest working guys I know in the industry, and he definitely deserves it. So then we had to hire assistant coaches as well. So we had to go through that process, and then just kind of looking at the roster for next year and trying to help Lloyd build his roster and the schedule and all of that stuff has been really fun. It's been great to kind of take that initiative and be able to kind of get to know the guys a little bit more on a personal level too, as well has been fun for me.
What about as far as from a coaching the player standpoint? Has there been any difference in terms of that just kind of getting used to the new to the new facet that your role brings with it?
Yeah, I mean, we're still being the director. It's really a unique thing that we're able to do. I'm able to spend some time on the court with the guys. Obviously, Lloyd is doing an incredible job in running practices and everything, and we are definitely doing our own separate things with the tennis part, but just the fact that Lloyd can sometimes hop in and help coach the women's team, whether it's for a match or for a practice and vice versa. And I can go on and help the guys and see if Lloyd needs any input from me on any of that stuff. Just to be able to bounce ideas back and forth, I think is really unique. And that's been kind of the fun part about it.
So you are now going into your eighth season as the head coach of the women's tennis program. This is now going to, if completing this season, you'll be tied with Patricia Allison, Stephanie Nikitas for the longest serving UCF women's tennis coach in program history. I gotta ask, what is it about this program that has kept you around so long?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy to think that this is season 8 already. I mean, it's nuts. But yeah, it's just been every year. I just feel like it's another cool thing that's happening at UCF and another a step in the right direction that this university and the athletic program has taken in another direction, right? So that excites me, and always excited me from day one to try to build something from the bottom up. And yeah, like I'm just obviously so grateful, just to get the opportunity here in the first place 8 years ago that John gave me, and to be able to kind of be here in this position is awesome. But there's just so many things, I mean, it's a hard place to leave. I mean, what's not to like? It's just unbelievable weather. The school is fantastic. I mean, it's like a resort, and we can get some great players to visit UCF and get some good recruiting visits here, and we've been able to maximize it. We have a great facility at the USTA, and there's just so many positives that we have here, and I'm just excited to see what this place can really become.
Speaking of John Roddick, you mentioned him right there. What is the biggest thing do you think that you've learned from him that's kind of helped you adjust to this new director of tennis role?
A lot. I mean, I don't know if I can pin it down to one thing, but just watching him work every day and understanding like what are the things that is really important and what make the program kind of tick. And as a director of tennis and what he was doing here, there's just so many things and people that are pulling you in different directions, and you have to really prioritize what's most important to kind of help the team grow, and how they can, at the end of the day, win tennis matches on the tennis court. But there's so many different components to it that you can kind of do. But I think one thing John has always done incredibly well is keep the main thing the main thing, and really do that at the highest level, because you can't really overextend yourself in too many areas, because other things can lack. And he's obviously done. He's probably one of the best coaches in college tennis in the last 15 years. And to do what he did at Oklahoma and to get UCF tennis to top 10, and just yeah, I mean, it's incredible what he's been able to do. So yeah, just seeing him, I think, work, and then also just the tennis part of it, like his tennis mind, um, which how he views tennis, and how players need to play with discipline, and things that he works on, just stuff like that definitely has stuck with me.
He, of course, hired you on to coach the women's team, and now coming into your eighth season, you are. I crunched the numbers. You are now actually within striking distance of Gail Falkenberg's head coaching wins record at 132. Like really good, like a really good season this season, and you can actually pass that with a really good season. So what has like Coach Roddick's impact been on you as a coach, and that can get you to such a position in the program's history?
Yeah, I mean, like again, like I said, I mean, he's just his input of recruiting, just what it takes, and understanding how you have to tackle recruiting, how you have to tackle player development, just all of those little details that go into trying to build one of the best rosters. And then player management too. Just watching how he has dealt with some players, and the accountability that he holds to his players, and really sticking true to his principles. I think those are important things as a coach. He has a system, and stuck to it, and I have a system, and I've learned to kind of stick to it, and kind of understand what makes us successful. But it's great to be in this position. But yeah, the only thing that matters is kind of our next match for sure.
So speaking of player development, we've seen some quite the developments from your squad over just this fall season, where not only did you have one but players take home singles titles in ITF events. Sophia Biole, of course, back in early October, and then Stephanie Webb a month later in November. Just what has it been like for you watching these players over the course of this fall accomplishing the things that they have?
Yeah, those were some really cool moments for us this fall. Obviously, no UCF tennis player, active tennis player, has ever won a professional event. So to have two separate ones do it in singles, and actually Olivia Linser did it in doubles. So really, to win three professional events in one semester was really cool for us to see. And obviously, testament one to Sophia. She's the one that won the first one, and she really has just can't be more proud of how she's kind of changed her mindset in on the tennis court, to put her body and mental to be able to take the grind of tennis physically and mentally. She's just been an incredible example for our team, and I'm happy that it's come to fruition a little bit for her, and she's seeing the positives of the things that she had to really change in her game. And then Steffi Webb as well. Like, she's came in January. It's not easy to come in the beginning in college tennis, and she's always been a player that's so talented, and the ball just comes different off her racket when she hits the ball. And so it's nice to see her kind of put it together, and hopefully continue to improve on some things that she needs to improve on. But just obviously super happy with their development. And Olivia as well played a lot of great pro matches this year. Won a big doubles title. Seen some improvements with her on the doubles court. So yeah, we're excited. I think the team is doing well, and a couple others that I can definitely point out as well that have, yeah, just been doing a great job.
So last season, you guys ended up having some injury woes later on in the season. You did manage to rally to an NCAA tournament, but now coming into to this season, hopefully healthy with a healthier Wed, Jay Tilburger, and Anik Kattenberg, who came into last season injured and came in clutch down the road. What's it been like now coming into this season with hopefully a healthier squad from top to bottom?
Yeah, it was unfortunate. Obviously, it's part of sport, and I definitely obviously we still were able to make the NCAA tournament last year, and unfortunately, we got snake bit a little bit for about 6 to 8 weeks in the middle portion of our season, which hurt us, and obviously during conference time, which didn't help. But Anik did an amazing job to come in last year and step into that role. Just she's another one that I'm just super proud of how she's kind of changed and has a different mentality and a different purpose on the tennis court. And for her to win some key matches for us last year and against SMU and Georgia Tech, and just really testament of how far she's gone. But yeah, like we obviously have a super talented squad. We did last year. Weren't able to put it all together on the court at the same time. And like you said, with the addition of a couple players that we have this year, yeah, I mean the goal is to see if we can put it together. If we can get everyone healthy and going on full cylinders, we'll be a tough team to play for sure.
Of course, last year you graduated Marie Mattel, the court number one player, and Miss Reliable Nandini Sharma.
Yeah.
So now of course coming into this season, you have Grace Levelson, redshirt freshman who hasn't seen court action in dual match yet. Of course, Olivia Linzer, we mentioned earlier, who won a doubles title in the fall, and then also Mihaela Sanova, freshman out of Bulgaria. What can you say out of about these freshman players, and what could we possibly expect to see out of them in dual match play this season?
Yeah, definitely excited. I mean, Olivia Linzer is she's actually out in California right now, and she had two amazing wins in the first round. She's in the quarterfinals of a pretty good pro event in California. Beat a girl top 500 in the world yesterday, and but she's going to come in as a first time freshman, and we understand there's going to be some learning curves and stuff like that. But she is such a great fighter. She's just we know that she's going to give UCF her best every time that she steps onto the tennis court, and she's been in so many big matches. So we're excited for her to come in and help us. And Mihaela, also unbelievable kid, just super hardworking. She'll do whatever she needs to do to help the team. And she had a little bit of an elbow injury in the fall, so that's why we didn't see her in the fall. But she's out practicing with us now, and we're trying to get her back to feeling the best that she can. Coming back here. So yeah, definitely excited for those.
Who has now? Obviously, we talked about the wins that Sophia and Stephanie got over the fall, but since the last dual match season ended, who among the returners have you seen really take a step up in their game? Is it like Stephanie and Sophia, or has there been other players as well that have been doing that?
Yeah, I mean, Noelle Saydanova had a great fall. She ended up winning the Big 12 individual tournament at the end of the year in Baylor. So she was our, Big 12 individual champion. That was a great result for her. I think she's come a long way mentally as well. Noelle's always has the game, but understanding how to mentally and emotionally piece together a match has been important for her to understand. And I'm really, Noelle, somebody that spends the time with me and over December break and summer, and hasn't been able to go back home to Russia because of what's been going on and risking visa situations to come back. And she's somebody that loves tennis and wants to be on the court all the time, and she's improved a lot. So I'm excited to see what Noelle can do to help this team this year. And Jante Tilburger had a little bit of a left wrist this fall, but played some events with a limited left hand. But I can't speak higher of Jante, of what she's been able to do as well. Just you know, just mentally on the tennis court, just a completely different person than I think she was a year ago. So I'm excited for her as well. So yeah, I mean, really, all of our returners, I'm really excited about, and you know, Jaleesa Leslie going to come in to her senior year, and I know she's excited to try to leave UCF on the best note possible. She came in when we had a lot of that success and made the round of 16 and had that taste of it of her freshman year. So she knows what it takes to get to that spot, and you know, hopefully she's going to be able to leave it all on the line for her senior year to help this team.
So the coming in and looking at the roster, the only senior coming in this year is Jaleesa Leslie, and E. Kattenberg is a redshirt junior. So what has it been like for the both of them over the course of this offseason? Of course, Anique riding that wave of clutch performances at the end of the season, then Jaleesa coming in to her senior year. What's it been like working with those two over the offseason, and then working with a team that ideally you might be able to actually, work over the course of a couple of years with from a majority standpoint.
Yeah, I think, and actually Noelle is a even though she didn't play here 4 years, this is her last year of eligibility as well. So she'll be the third one. But most of our conversations with those three in the off season and the preseason has been, look, you have 200 days or now probably 150 days left of this in your life. And when you kind of put it down to the amount of days left of this chapter of your life being closed, it's pretty eye-opening, and it's pretty like, wow, and what can we kind of do to maximize the next 150 days of doing everything you can to help UCF tennis and go out on the right way. So we've been just talking about trying to do the right things off the court, to prepare your body to go through the season that we have to do, and basically not have bad days. And I've been really proud of those guys, of what they've been able to do, not having many bad days, and understanding that they're in a different role. They're seniors. They need to be looked up on the girls. Yeah, that's kind of been the message for them, and they've been doing a great job with it.
Speaking of the season, you get started by getting a chance to avenge that NCAA tournament loss to Georgia Tech starting on January 20th. Is that just how the schedule worked out, or was that intentional?
No, it's definitely how it just worked out. Obviously, playing them in the NCAA tournament, we don't know that until the week before the tournament, and we've had this match scheduled already before that. So it's pretty funny that it's coincidence how it worked out. But look, I mean, just we've fallen short to them twice last year, once at their place and once at the NCAA tournament, and both matches were tight, were wars, and we won the doubles point at the NCAA tournament and weren't able to come through with 4 points, but obviously it's one that's circled in our schedule. Our team has known about for a while, and we try to treat every match the same, but it's, yeah, like you said, it's revenge. I mean, we don't want to lose to a team 3 times in a row, and they're tough. They're, Coach Rodney over there does an unbelievable job. He's one of the best coaches in the game, and most experienced, and a really good squad as well. They have most of their team coming back, and yeah, it'll be another good top 20, top 25 Georgia Tech team, that's for sure.
Yeah, you have quite the non-conference schedule even after that, though. I mean, depending on how the ITA kickoff weekend works out, you'll end up playing potentially at 5 or 6 preseason top 25 teams before you begin in conference play. Just looking at the non-conference schedule full of NCAA tournament opponents, what are you kind of thinking about with this team is going into with starting the season off like that?
Yeah, we just obviously, first of all, we owe it to them, right? We owe it to the team to play the best schedule. We have great players, and to put them in these types of environments over and over again is the way that we're going to learn and try to peak in April and May. So, we're not going to try to hide and, try to pad the schedule until conference happens. I think it's important to face these teams and understand where we are, and hopefully we're there. And if not, what do we need to do to kind of get there? Yeah, I mean, look, this hasn't kind of been a secret. We've been doing this for the last probably 6 years of me being here. And, at the end of the day, we owe it to our players to have the best schedule. And, at the end of the day, it goes by your 10 best wins to be ranked. So we're going to try to put as many great opponents on the schedule to make the NCAA tournament and potentially try to host. So that's definitely the goal with the schedule.
So so going into a conference schedule, it seems like the women's tennis coaches, the Big 12 think pretty highly of you. You got placed fourth in the conference preseason poll, though no first place votes, only team among the top five to not get one. Just what are your thoughts to kind of see that ranking right away going into this Big 12 conference?
Yeah, like for me, no thoughts at all, honestly. And I know it's kind of coaches speak, but like it's great to be, I guess, to understand and have a little bit of respect going into the conference. But at the end of the day, this is going to be such a great learning year, I think, for the team, and to be going into different environments. We're going to be playing in altitude. We're going to be playing indoors. We're going to be traveling a lot. There's just going to be a lot of variables that are going to be unique and different than what we've faced in years past, and something that we've been trying to mentally prepare for and understand that we're going to have to be even more on top of our game to try to win some of these matches on the road, because it's not going to be, we're going to play indoors more than we probably have played before, and we're definitely going to play in altitude more than we've ever played in before. So it's going to be a challenge. And look, if you play a 35 ranked team on the road indoors or in altitude, they're probably more like a 20 ranked team. So understanding that and understanding how much it's going to take of us is going to be a challenge, but I think the team is up for it.
It's quite a deep Big 12 conference you're going into. You get a chance to play number 13 ranked Oklahoma twice, once in conference play and once in the ITA kickoff tournament, and then top 10 teams in Texas State. But even, looking beyond the top 25, I think like half the Big 12 made the NCAA tournament
Yeah.
last year. So looking at the kind of the challenge ahead of Big 12 play, what have you been kind of, talking with the team about, and kind of what are your thoughts on your opponents that you're going to be meeting, some of them, a majority of them, for the first time?
Yeah, I mean, historically, the Big 12 has been one of the best conferences in tennis. Texas has won 2 national championships in the last 3 to 4 seasons. Oklahoma has made a finals of an NCAA tournament, or of the NCAA tournament, a couple of years back. And they have great depth. Oklahoma State, Baylor, Kansas, Texas Tech. I mean, there's just so many good teams. But I think really it's nice to have a conference schedule this year, and for our team to kind of like build something every single match. In the years past, we've only played maybe 4 or 5 conference opponents. So it's going to be nice to play a full conference schedule and kind of, almost reset after the non-conference schedule and be like, okay, now it's time for conference and focus on that. But yeah, also just understanding the challenges that come with it. Like I mentioned earlier, playing indoors, playing in altitude, being in places that we've never been before. It's going to be fun.
So now that we are in the new calendar year of 2024, we are in the first year of that pilot program that the NCAA approved back in April, where the individual tennis championships are moved to the fall. Now, if I remember right, like this season, I think is this season the last season in which like the individual championships will be held in spring, and so there'll just be 2 individual championships in 2024. I believe I have that right.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, it'll
So
basically be back to back. Yeah.
so from your perspective as a coach, what are your thoughts now about kind of how the season now, like through this calendar year, the calendar year, this individual this aspect is now kind of being brought back into the fall?
Personally, I really like it. I really like, I'm a big team guy, and I always love playing for my team. And so it's really nice to kind of separate the fall being the individual part of college tennis, and then the spring to be basically this is when we play for the team, right? So I know a lot of times during the spring semester, players are worried about individual wins to make the NCAA tournament at the end of the year, and I kind of like how it's how we kind of separated now. One thing my senior year, our team made the finals of the NCAAs, and the next day I had to play the individual tournament in singles, and so just physically and emotionally, I just know how challenging that is for these players, and you're playing for something real. You're playing for a main draw for some of these American players. You're playing for a main draw U.S. Open wild card. You win the NCAA tournament. That's $100,000 that you're playing for. And so, to be able to play in a grueling team atmosphere where you're just emotionally giving everything of yourself, and then the next day or two you have to play 7 days in a row of an individual tournament, it's just taxing and it's very tough. So I like how they kind of just separated it and made the individuals in the fall, and then you focus as a team, and that's the number one goal, is to get to 4 points in the spring.
And then, of course, breaking news that came out yesterday, and the NCAA and ESPN agreed to a new deal, which ended up adding the men's and women's team championships to ESPN platforms with the latest media rights deal that came out. What are your thoughts on that, and just how much like college tennis or college sports in general really is seem to really, ESPN seems to be really going all in on that, now adding the tennis championships into that equation.
Yeah, I think it's about time. I think tennis is an awesome product. I think if it gets a little bit more airtime, I really do think people will start to pay attention a little bit more. I think when people come to an exciting dual match, and you see 500 to 800 people in the stands during a high energy doubles point or a singles match that comes down to it. I mean, there's nothing more fun, and I think to be able to put that on TV and for the world to see a little bit more, I think it's going to be great for our sport. And hopefully, I know we're looking to host the NCAAs here as well in Orlando at the USTA a little bit more, so I think it'd be such a great platform to kind of continue to grow our sport.
Speaking of the USTA national campus, great. You mentioned, people, the number of people in the stands, and I'm talking about the way that the facility is laid out. You get a lot of people in there, and that's a really awesome environment to watch tennis. And speaking of that environment, you actually will get the chance to host Oklahoma, Texas, and Oklahoma State, all top 25 preseason teams at the USTA national campus. How big is that for you to kind of have the home court advantage for matchups with such teams?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you play at home, it's nice. You're comfortable in your environment. You're playing outdoors all the time. You know how the ball's going to bounce on your court. It's definitely an advantage. And our goal is to try to pack the stands, and something that Lloyd and I are trying to work hard on doing, and see if we can give our girls and guys an extra 1 or 2%, to fight harder. That's our goal. But to have those teams here and to come here, it's awesome, and we're definitely promoting it.
What's the biggest thing you want to see from this team in the week and change between now, when we're recording this interview, and the season opening matchup against Georgia Tech?
Just having not having one bad day, because we can't afford the amount of days left till we play Georgia Tech. We can't afford to have us not taking care of what we need to take care of to prepare. So just in terms of being a great teammate, pumping each other up at practice, fighting hard for every single point, doing the gym and the sleep and the nutrition the right way, things that we can control, and trying to do that daily and try to make it a lifestyle for us. But from what I've seen in the last couple of days, I'm really pleased with our kind of intentions to improve every single day. And I think if we can keep that up, I'll be happy with the season.
There's definitely a lot new, I would argue, about this season. New conference, you're in a new role. You're gonna have a bunch of new opponents. So looking at the at the prospect ahead of you for this year of 2024, what are you looking for as far as yourself, and what are you looking to see from this team over the course of this season?
Yeah, you're completely right. There's a lot of new comes from also just not having probably a full squad even from last year all at the same time. So, what does this team look like when we are firing on all cylinders and, everyone's right, everyone's healthy and playing well? That's a lot of it is the schedule piece to it. Yeah, that's new, but, it's not something that's been new from our program in the years past. We've always challenged ourselves with playing some great teams, and but so it is new from the fact of we have some new freshmen who are great players, and to integrate that with a little bit of an older team, and to see how we kind of grow together. That piece is really exciting for me. And then I think just the team entering the Big 12, I think seeing something to play for and having a goal to chase. I think that's also exciting.
Well, best of luck chasing that goal this season. Really appreciate your time, Coach. You're gonna get started on January 20th with a two matchups in one day, with Georgia Tech at 11 a.m. that morning, and then Bethune-Cookman at 4 p.m. What was that like? What's that like doing a double? I don't think I've ever really seen a double header from from one team in one day before.
Yeah, I mean it happens. I mean the reason we do it is obviously it counts as one date of competition, even though we can play two matches on the same day. So from a scheduling piece, it allows us to play a little bit more matches, and allows us to play a little bit more with our lineup, and get some more, just some more practice in before kickoff weekend, trying to get some more matches. So great opportunity for Bethune to come here and to play us at the USTA is good. So that was our kind of reasoning for that one. But it's definitely a lot of teams will do that, especially early on, to try to get a little bit more matches under their belt.
Awesome. Well, best of luck in those two matches. Of course, going to that rematch against Georgia Tech, brand new conference. Just best of luck, and of course, the best of luck in the new role as well.
Yeah, thank you, Bryson. Appreciate your time, man.